Hi there. Thanks for tuning in to Make This Happen, where we discuss an idea we've been dying to see come alive. Every week, my friend Alexander Gonzalez and myself, J.E., will bring you a product you never knew you needed. But first, before we get into it, I have to say, a few episodes ago, I had an idea for Make This Happen, where I was like, Apex Legends needs more modes. And guess what happened? They are making more modes. So I think
hey guys, we did it.
Yeah.
We made it happen.
We're getting that royalty check in once that new season drops from EA and Respawn. No,
Sheesh,
we're not.
Royalty check. Here we go.
But it's cool. Like they're doing like nothing that I wanted them to do, obviously. But I'm not a game dev. We are not game devs.
We are not game devs.
But podcast, check it out. Release new episodes every Friday by me and Alex. But they're doing like a more Valorant CS:GO style of thing where it's like 3v3, but each round you get like every round you for kills and doing the round you get some currency. You use that currency to buy skills and weapons and stuff, and then you go to the next round with the stuff you buy, and then you kill more people, and then you do the same thing over and over again. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I'm super excited. I haven't been playing Apex that much because of Destiny and Final Fantasy, but I do this near the end of every Apex season where I just binge it because I'm like, man, I paid for this season pass, so I gotta finish it, or that's a waste of money. And so that's what I'm doing now. Is I'm playing a lot more Apex than I have in a while.
Which leads to your idea this week,
which has nothing to do with Apex Legends. And what it is.
I guess before we leave that, I've never bought a battle pass.
I mean, what game would you have played that you would have?
I don't know, man. If Pokemon were to come out with a battle pass, that'd be pretty cool.
I mean, you would buy that. Like, that's where it starts. Pokemon Snap coming soon.
Oh, I hope it has DLC. All right, let's go into your idea.
We have to talk about Mario Party finally dropping some DLC.
I didn't know if you wanted to talk about that or not. I'm sorry, guys.
I mean,
we can now play Mario Party. But... Okay, yeah, we'll talk about it after the
show. Car HUDs. They're out there now. We have them. They're cool and all. But what would be even cooler to make them even awesomer? It doesn't even have to be innately in the car. Like when you buy a car, it doesn't have to be like an upgrade plan or something. It could be something that you just buy, put it on your dashboard or whatever, and it like shines up into your windshield or whatever. You know what I mean? And what I want this to be, it could be like Garmin's new tech, right? Where they have a little projector that projects up onto your windshield. And what it says is the name of every fucking street that's about to come up. So when you're about to pass a new street, it'll tell you the street name, and it'll just be right up there on the top left of your windshield. So you can see it as the driver, and you won't see it as the passenger. But how many times have you been driving and you're looking for a specific street to turn on, but it's covered by a tree or covered by a truck, and you just don't see
honestly, it's hard to read. Street signs are the number one indicator that I may need to get a stronger prescription in my glasses.
Oh, I thought you were going more that it's like or it's faded out or just old.
Yeah.
But
it makes you squint, and it just makes you question yourself. You're like, why can't I read this?
And it's especially terrible in like more like downtown areas, not just even like downtown LA. Like I'm talking about like downtown Riverside. You know what I mean? Like downtown areas of most places that are a lot older than the rest of the city. Their street signs sometimes haven't been updated since they were founded or whatever. So they're like barely legible at this point. And people just know that street because they've lived there their whole lives. You know what I mean? But like for newcomers to the city, you have no idea where anything is. And I think it's super easy just to do because like GPSs exist. They know where all the streets are. Just put that out. And then you could like set it to settings where it skips like certain types of streets, like
only main streets.
Like only main streets, and you could just you could put settings in so it doesn't spam you with every single street you pass.
For freeways as well. And I'm thinking, why not have this technology to have map integration too? where it
Exactly.
can tell you also, like in a symbol, when you're turning, like a little map on your HUD that shows where you're going in relation to everybody else. Like I
Yeah.
mean, in relation to your objective
And just like how Garmin works, like
destination.
you could have it super detailed where it's like make the next exit within zero 0.5 miles. You have to make the next exit, and literally shows the picture of the ramp. Or it's like how I like my maps done, like MapQuest, where it's like, hey, turn right on 6th Street. You know, I
I
don't
like
need
it
a
even.
picture or nothing.
I
Just
like
tell
it in
me.
between where it says, "Not this light, but the next one. Turn right." I'm like, "Oh, thank God." I always question which light it is.
Yeah,
At the third light, turn left, especially in downtown areas.
right, right. I think it would be more like you could set the setting where the projector will come up between certain distances. You can make it either shorter or longer. Like you could put that in your the the Garmin smartphone app, right? You could
Hmm.
set all those settings where it's like once I get 100 feet, 200 feet, 500 feet, hell, zero 0.5 miles, right? But
You
like you could
know,
set so like inner streets versus freeway, all that stuff.
what if we made it? This is maybe too ambitious, but it'd be fun to think about. What if we put two cameras on each of the driver's side mirrors, and then you're able to also have a blind spot projection on your HUD, so you have live action of you, like only when you turn, like if you turn your turn signal on, it'll then show on your HUD a video of your blind spot.
I mean, I'm sure some people would love that. I feel like that's just too much information on the screen, especially if it's like a video. And I feel like that's
Be
also
a
a
little
lot for the
square.
projection to do. Um, because I don't think this is going to be a
You
super
know,
expensive thing.
in Honda Civics right now, they have cameras in their taillights
Hmm.
where it shows up on the center dash when in the video of their blind spot.
Yeah, yeah. I do understand those stuff exist, but I feel like that would have to be a much more integrated thing. Because how are they going to talk to each other? And would you have to charge these cameras? Uh,
This is true. This is true.
I mean, yeah, people have like the cam. What are they called? The cameras that you put in case you crash or in case like something happens. You have
Dash
a
cams.
yeah, stuff like they have that, but those you also have to like take out. And yeah, maybe you can have all that stuff. But then I feel
If
like
you
the
want to
projection
integrate,
quality would have to be a lot higher because in my head it's just the street names and then maybe a couple symbols,
that's
um,
true.
not like
You
full actual video. But maybe that could be like the premium version where you get like the projector and then two cameras and then like a bunch of other neat little functions or whatever. And maybe one car company, like how like they have like deals, car companies have
Mhm.
deals with other like iPhone and I think Toyota had a deal at one point where no, BMW and iPhone had a thing where every BMW, not every BMW, but if you get the upgrade, you put in your iPhone as if it was like an iHome or whatever, like maybe we could have a specific deal with like Tesla where they will allow you the cameras just work integrated with this GPS projection system and it's just in your car innately.
That'd be super dope. Do you want it to also display speed and gears on the HUD?
No, because like cars already have that sometimes. You know what I mean? It would
Yeah,
be
they
it would be
do.
weird if like you had like a Tesla. It had the miles per hour right there on your HUD, and then on your upper left, there's also miles per hour up there. But maybe in your settings, you could just set that up. You know what I mean? You could choose to show speed. You could choose to show all that stuff. Like maybe you put this in like a '97 Corolla Toyota. You know what I mean? And you want that because for some reason you can't read your speedometer or it's your speedometer is broken or something.
And for older car installations, I think it would be good to have speed, maps, street signs,
Hmm.
and weather. I
Hmm.
maybe not weather, I guess temperature. So like, once it gets to 31 degrees, it's icy. So it's like beware of that.
Sure. I feel like it'll have whatever function your typical Garmin GPS nav would have. And Garmin's usually have all of those things in
Hmm.
it already. And I'm talking like pretty much just the low end Garmin's. have all this type of stuff, you know?
Okay.
At least that's what I remember them having. But now I just use my iPhone. But this will stop people from looking down at your phone all the time to get the instructions because it's just right there up on top. Until eventually car manufacturers will just have it, like, because they saw what we're doing and they're like, oh yeah, that's pretty smart. Now you know what street's coming up. But I just want it, so I could know what the next street is at all times. Because sometimes I'm in mid conversation, but I'm also trying to find a street and then I pass it because I was just not thinking. But if it's just right there, you know, it'd be easy.
Most definitely. I also want the speed limit displayed always. That helps a lot. Yep. Have you ever been in a new area and you're like, is it 35? Is it 45? I don't know.
You mean, yeah, I know what you mean now. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Well, I've already said it throughout the show. Garmin. Is that what it's called? It's Garmin,
I have
right?
no idea.
I'm not crazy, right?
I've never heard. I know about TomTom.
I don't even know what TomTom is. When I hear TomTom, I just think of the youngest brother from Three Ninjas.
Oh, yeah, and TomTom is also a type of drum.
Oh, yeah, Toms.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think they're called Garmins. Garmin, delivering innovative GPS technology across diverse markets. But yeah, Garmin, make this happen. Thanks for listening. If you have any suggestions or products you'd like to see talk about, feel free to write in at adpoundgames@gmail.com. We have a Patreon. If you'd like to join the AdPound family, come find us at patreon.com/wearenotgamedevs. Patrons receive episodes 2 days early, meaning Make This Happen gets to your ears that much sooner. If you enjoyed our show, take a second to give us a review. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play Store, and more. Catch you guys next Sunday with Alex's idea.
Seltzer waters.
Okay. You literally just thought of that right now as you look at your LaCroix can, didn't you?
Yeah, and
we'll find out next week.